Anything of importance to the west? What is this place here? I can't go up it. Wait. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. Broken pipe? Perhaps. What is this? Sort of oil canisters? Rust-eaten letters read Mazout. Okay. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every MC in Revachol. Hopefully. And there's a little box hidden here. With 1.15 real. It's quite nice. That's a Nolan 25, an unsuccessful model. Okay. Quick travel unlocked to the church. And we've also got this little thing over here. Whatever it may be. Looking back at you from the rust-colored water. You. Always looking at yourself. This is so expansive. I think this... Actually, can I head over here? No. There is stuff over there. Wait. Before you, a drawbridge can only be lowered from the other side. And can I get to the other side? Yes, I can. Over this way. What is this? Must have taken a lot of patience to do this. Surely. Yes. Where are you?
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh. Hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
I'm not wearing a hat. Neither is Kim.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
She looks up at you, distracted. I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
Come to think of it, I should. Where would I get one around here?
I don't know. Some kind of a store? Maybe a general store? Look, man. Fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Regain authority in her eyes.
Lots of feeling. Feel it up. Way up.
Oh my god, fuck the hat. Is that what you just said to me? I can't believe you told me to fuck the hat.
You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right.
So I should just...
Maybe add more indignation.
I should just get a hat and fuck it, right? Point at your head where the hat should be. At your head where the hat should be. Engage in sexual intercourse with a hat right here in front of you because you told me so on the sea ice.
More.
Right here on the sea ice?
More.
You feel a little ice cop hat fuck show?
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
The girl is visibly shaken.
The lieutenant is watching the scene unfold before his eyes.
Is that how you see me?
How to react. The girl looks down, slowly curling into a ball.
Anyway, I can't believe you used obscenities like that in front of a police officer, and you should...
The words are stuck in your throat. All that comes out is tears pouring down your face. The young woman has kept her eyes trained on her wires, waiting for the lecture to end. But now she hears sobbing. Looking up, she sees a grown man on the wrong side of 40, his face bloated from alcohol and God knows what else. Not so quietly, crying.
This isn't really about the hat, is it?
You should wear a hat. That's it. That's what I wanted to say.
I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on.
Good. Would it be alright if I asked you some questions now?
You know, you're not the only one with issues. I self-medicate. Shit. Life's a horror, you know? Crying helps, though. Get it out your system. And then maybe we can talk. Okay? I'll be here.
Kim, what do you have to say? Having looked away during the final phase of your little episode, the lieutenant now addresses you.
Do you want to talk about what just happened?
It's probably a good idea.
Normally, I'm opposed to discussing one's feelings, especially on duty. But I think this is an exceptional case. So, what do you think happened?
'Tis possible thou couldst persuade the lieutenant 'twas all a part of thy unorthodox method. But can thou persuade thyself?
Convince yourself that you didn't melt down just now.
Believeth in thyself, my liege. 'Twas all a clever ruse.
Don't worry, Kim. It was all a ruse.
Yes, a clever ruse, I see.
You don't, but you will.
Even so, in the future, could you please refrain from emoting too much on duty? The quasi-legal status of the RCM means we need to project strength twice as consistently as any other police force in the world.
Weakness is strength.
Not when projecting strength. Then it's just weakness.
Okay, then it isn't strength, you're right.
Thank you. Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on?
Yes, it is my duty after all.
Then let's go.
Wow, so someone's been a little boring.
What?
Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
I like brown.
Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's official. My lord's coppo type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax.
Why not? Send out a telefax, then I'm not ashamed.
Done and done. No actual communiques will be sent, of course. That would be too dramatic.
Alright.
So, like, seriously, what's eating you, man?
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing, and she wears thick black eyeliner. Most men wouldn't call her pretty. There is a manliness to her, a coarseness.
Yeah, can we talk for a minute?
I was wondering when you would come around. What's up?
I guess there's something that's been making my life hell.
What is it?
She listens intently. People just keep putting their selfish interests ahead of the greater good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no one understands that sometimes we've got to make sacrifices for the sake of progress. It's all very distressing.
So, the thing that's got you crying in front of strangers is the slow pace of social progress?
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for slow and steady progress. I just wish people would be a little more reasonable, is all.
Okay, so you're not that upset, it sounds like.
I told you I'm highly distressed by the state of affairs.
Uh-huh. And you're sure it's social progress you're distressed about, and not, I don't know, some chick?
Perhaps.
Now that you mention it, I found these letters I'd thrown in the trash. They might have something to do with it.
Okay. Why'd you think that?
First, they had just the faintest scent of chewing gum on them. I could still smell it under the shit.
Wow, man. That's pretty symbolic. Don't you think?
Yeah, I found that to be very symbolic too.
Okay. What else?
They were written in a woman's hand, and oh boy did reading them make me not feel good.
There you have it then. Chick trouble. Not political after all. Who was she?
I don't remember.
Really? You seem to be pretty upset about this chica. Are you sure you don't remember anything about her?
I remember her scent, and that's all.
Wow, man. That's some pretty strange shit. Are you sure the letters were for you?
Yeah, I'm sure. Why would I have reacted so strongly otherwise?
How come you don't remember, though? Is it like some selective memory thing?
Wait, what do you mean by selective memory?
Man, when I get hurt, I just want to forget that shit, you know? That kind of selective memory.
I think it's more about me getting so unbelievably drunk I completely erased all memory of this world.
Yeah, or it might be that. This one time I did so much booze that I forgot too.
You hesitated there.
It's obvious she's done more than.
I was gonna say.
booze.
Or it might just be some psych bullshit, you know? Königstein wank.
What is this?
You know, the psych thing they've got going on there. Rich people like it. People in Königstein are mostly rich.
Thanks for the bullshit psych thing then.
You're welcome. Might be for the best to keep that shit forgotten though. Just my opinion. If it itches, don't scratch.
What's your name?
A cell.
And your surname?
Why?
I'm
from the police, it's for paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's a real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Yeah, any news on my wife's name? What about my mother?
No. You're welcome.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Does this have anything to do with Contact Mike?
Yeah, I record stuff with it.
No, I mean, the boxer Contact Mike.
No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
You know, Contact Mike doesn't just beat people up. Contact Mike is a role model.
An entire litany spews forth.
Yes, you heard right. You should try to be more like Contact Mike, a successful athlete and an inspirational figure who has overcome social, physical, and mental obstacles.
Man, you are one weird cop.
This isn't about me. This is about your lack of respect for one of boxing's greats and for yourself.
What is it with you and this Mike guy?
She pauses. The question is rhetorical.
Okay, if it floats your boat, I'll be more like Contact Mike and less like me.
Self-respect is not meant to float any boats but your own.
I'll keep that in mind for future use.
She turns to check her tape recorder. Where did you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What is the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
Nor do I, but I have concrete evidence that I rock. In the form of a wrecked tape player and a completely trashed hostel room.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. Never mind. Let's talk about that
Sure.
contact mic instead. Had some non-mic questions
Okay.
for you. What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it you're recording exactly?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for? Drugs?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Probably talking about drugs.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks? The footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
Take this, you're called.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Lieutenant backs up. He throws you a glance. Now this is where a hat would come in handy.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
You said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah, Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there, no room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep, they were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter, I can take the cold.
Some other questions?
Go ahead.
Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah,
He looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. What is anodic dance music?
you know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
What are found sounds?
This is an evolutionary step up from amplified instruments, which in turn are a step up from acoustic instruments. What comes after it, you wonder? A black-tinted nothingness or something finer?
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Yeah, why do you ask?
Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else? Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie, but it feels like one. She's better at lying than she'd like everyone to know.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Yes, these rich people are not from around here.
Aren't they? I thought they were as Vachalaire as any of us. Just way richer.
Oh no, they're foreign bodies, agents of international capital. You only need to look close enough.
Maybe you're right. Most of them do speak 3 languages.
So, what trouble have you gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Wait, what is Infoberg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg. It's a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
Banlieue is the French for suburb. I know what Jamrock is, but let's say I didn't.
We are Jamrock, sort of. Martinez is called North Jamrock sometimes. Jamrock is also a ghetto, only smaller than Faubourg.
Jamrock is a district of Revachol comprised of the following quarters: Pox, Villa Lobos, Central Jamrock, Grand Couronne, Old South, and the Valley of the Dogs. Learning is great.
And why did you have to move out when you were so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
You know what? I think you've really learned something from all those times you've been questioned. Some of your lies have been pretty good.
Thank you?
No worries.
The girl is truly proud of herself.
Yeah, I can't even remember how many you've told or which ones I picked up on. Now, another question.
Go ahead.
The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath, you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
Actually, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. Okay, we'll go to the tent in a second. We'll first look at the things surrounding it. Painted with pastels, someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Trash from some unending party. The pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. And more tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. So the only purpose of the drawbridge was that you would
The pane of
find the girl
Eternite has been
first.
planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
Push it over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Okay, now let's get into the tent.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Alright, let's get in.
Sorry, you barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. Well, let's talk to those delinquents then. And give them the right talking to. Without leaving the girl to herself. I mean, you could fit her in here. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. And a speaker, the big kind they use for live music. That's the way out.
You see a youngish man
Andre.
bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
There is definitely something futuristic about his hair, aggressively so. You get the sense that this is what the future will look like.
Please no.
Imbecilic. Yes, should the future ever come, it will look deeply imbecilic, like this guy.
Or shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Cell Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
That is another way to say 0.
That means they haven't set up a single one yet.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Next time, watch yourself.
I will, lawman.
The young man nods and drops a drill chuck into a plastic container.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Yes.
An attempt to pander to your perceived conservative sensibilities. No person his age would ever use a word like narcomania with a straight face. Don't fall for it.
Enough histrionics. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads. Burnouts.
He angrily spits on a screw and starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that. The world.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
I won't stand for narcomaniacs of any kind. No narcomaniacs on my watch.
Yes, yes. And the worst part is, they're also spooky.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Why does he have a German accent?
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I'll look into it, tell me more.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
What's the status of the church? I haven't gotten inside the building yet.
I asked Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. A padlock. It's a temporary fix. Just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
What about the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool-infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Be the cool cop, catch the key as it flies toward you.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
Bask in the glory.
The young man with ribcage-shaped suspenders looks at you, standing there, with a goofy grin on your face. The word august, used as an adjective. That's how cool it feels to be old and cool in the eyes of the young. Let's face it, you're near death, yet bathed in the golden rays of stately grandeur, like a late summer's day, like a daddy-o.
How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
He shrugs. How can you be so sure they haven't starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have learned the term involuntary manslaughter there.
Andre, do you know what involuntary manslaughter means?
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8 all the time. I know about crime stuff, and I assure you, officer, this is not what's happening here. I'm at least 80% sure they're alive. I mean, come on. Most people aren't ever that alive in their entire lives.
Yeah, I catch your drift.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart cop.
It feels good to be the smart cop, doesn't it? That's a good cop to be. Has a nice ring to it. Smart cop. You wouldn't want to be stupid cop, now would you? But still, maybe he's just sucking up to you.
I get by. Now where was I with that padlock?
He nods attentively, ready to answer the questions of one smart cop.
Right, other questions.
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved?
Well, there's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
Is it the cryptozoologists?
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
No, the other one.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What was that about some thing watching you?
Like, you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Not human, as in a ghost? Do you know what he means?
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crabman.
Crabman?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures, and not known for climbing walls.
Are you sure there was a crabman?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
There probably is no crabman. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense.
Can you tell me more about this machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dope heads if you haven't even seen them?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he is attempting to weaponize idiocy.
Wow, you can't, but you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my own repertoire.
Hey now, I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers.
Yes?
Don't let all that technology fool you. Where do you think the drugs come from?
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Sure. What?
You mentioned some kind of ecclesiasts own the church. Who are these ecclesiasts?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Now, humor me, Andre. What is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, like, made the innocentic system, no?
Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for Nordic music in one of their churches?
Totally.
There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it.
Love is hardcore!
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the bass, as if testing the waters.
No words, enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse?
Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cup posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse.
And where is your posse, detective? Nothing comes to you. The world is silent.
It just sounds like you're saying random things. Love, posse, make noise.
Are we?
He looks at you mysteriously.
Yeah!
The one with the large head really enjoys it when his friend gets mysterious. I guess love can be pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, it can.
He's coming around. You're getting it.
I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Nordic music is about love, and so is the Pericanassian church.
Yeah! Yakokata, the place to be.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew.
His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so.
I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding his head. waiting for your body to start moving. You feel like you could go for a little disco when, or if they get this club going. You've got it in you.
I wanted to ask you about this tent full of equipment.
Yes. What?
I see you brought your own water?
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even has running water.
And it's distilled too.
Oh,
He doesn't know what to say.
it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's nothing for you to grab hold of.
Alright, enough of this.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Maybe everything isn't quite as you've been told. Take a moment to analyze.
Well,
Yeah.
first of all, you're a smart cop, and a smart cop like you would understand if something wasn't quite right. So this should be easy.
And then there's the narcomania.
Indeed. So one of them came upon the abandoned church. They want to turn it into a club for dance music, but agents of narcomania have overrun it. You shudder to think of all the narco they must have already consumed in there. Narco is bad. Plus, and it has to be considered, you can't invent the future of dance music in this smelly old tent. Imagine if you had the church. That settles it. Analysis complete. Their story checks out.
Totally.
It still feels as if this didn't quite go as it should have. But
As
That's it
always,
for now.
we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I still have a point? Yes, and I'm too experienced of another one, so I feel good in putting that into logic. And then I'll have a look at my equipment, actually. Do I have something else? This gives me logic. Anything else that is logically useful for me? The hat certainly does. It looks absolutely ridiculous, but it's very logical. Oh, the Koroyev jacket as well. Sure, very logical. This feels like a very logical outfit to wear. To be honest, I kind of like the jacket with the pants and the white shirt. That doesn't look bad. If the hat wasn't so hideous, that might even be a decent style.
Hi again. So, how things going?
58% even. Let's give it another try.
nothing jumps out to you. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Really? Because I could swear something's not adding up here.
How about you get out and
Oh.
breathe? The air in the tent is too thick for you to think clearly.
Okay.
As always,
Yep, maybe get out first. We don't need to die in here.